My name's Eileen Andrew and I've read Shumbachena. It is a very good book. It is an adventure, sci-fi and fantasy book. It's a very good read for all age ranges, which is very good in a day and age where people should share books and read as a family together. I think that's important. Although I'm widely read and I read lots of different kinds of books, I love paper books. I also have a Kindle. But I think the things are like picking up books that are different by local authors especially, and supporting them. And my favourite part of the book was when Shumbachena actually goes through the time portal into the other land, when he finds the talisman, and it all starts to come together when he meets the other characters. Because sometimes he seems to be a little afraid, and then a certain amount of bravado comes through, and he just connects and makes friends with these and goes forward. I think that's a lesson to everyone when you go forward and you try something different in life. There was no character I personally would relate to, but I did think Faye was very brave, and I liked the description of the droll, which was the type of horse that he rode on his adventures. The descriptions of both the foods, the wines, the adventures, the equipment all used drew you in and helped you become part of the story, which was incredibly enjoyable. I would read another book by this author. I would like to see a sequel, maybe 2 or 3 more stories. I would like to know how the adventure expands with him and his friends, how the romance goes, if there's any more little poems to be read within the book. They were quite interesting. And to see the conclusion of the story when he comes back into our world at the dig with Professor Stanton.
Good day to you. My name's Nicholas Stanton. I was born here in Swindon, but lived most of my life in Africa. I lived there for 26 years in a country, as you would know now, as Zimbabwe. We moved there in 1974 to Rhodesia, as it was known then. I've actually lived in 3 countries without actually having to move, which is Rhodesia, Rhodesia, and Zimbabwe. I did basically all my schooling, early work and everything all in Zimbabwe, and I've learned a lot, which is part and parcel the reason why this has actually inspired me to write a novel. This novel is actually called Shumbachena, which means white lion in Shona, and that's what it's translated to into English. It's a book that's a fantasy adventure and incorporates magic, swords, shields, you name it, the usual sort of thing in a fantasy adventure. I have written it in the first person, so I'm actually you're reading the book through my eyes. So some of the things I'm doing there, I've actually done. I've gone to just a river and put a bottle in there and filled it up. And you'll see in the book about the Nyanga Mountains, lighting fires, which we had to learn when we were in the Boy Scouts. I mean, we tied ourselves to trees just for survival. So we had to learn the hard way over there, which is why I've decided to put a lot of that actually in the book. A lot of the characters are actually based on personal family, friends, and they're all good characters. You get some bad ones, of course, which you have to have in a book. But you'll find when you do purchase the book that it's an adventure from beginning to end. There's no boring bits in there, I believe. I've had good feedback from basically everybody who's purchased it that I know. It is available on Amazon as a hard copy or as Kindle. So I believe if you do purchase this, you'll have a good laugh and just a good adventure. You'll enjoy it. I know you guys will. The book took a while to actually write. I wrote it longhand first of all, on just A4 lined paper. I was able to go backwards and forwards, changing this, changing that. It's not a long story, but it took me a few years to actually do. But I've had friends and family read through scripts, come back with this and that, bits and pieces. I've taken a lot of that on board. So a lot of people in the background have helped on doing this. I do mention about my mother in there. So I've given her a part. She died quite a few years ago. So I've decided to put my mom in there, and my dad, and my brother, and the rest of the family. When I finally did get it sorted out on Amazon, I'd chosen the cover, put in the actual words, set it up properly, and finally pushed the publish button. That was just an unbelievable feeling after so many years. You know, this euphoria just came over me. It was just like, wow, you know, I've finally done it. My name is in writing. I couldn't believe it. First thing I did when it said it was ready was actually buy some copies, proof copies, so I could still check it. But when they finally arrived, it was just like, wow, you know, I didn't want to open the package because I was so chuffed. I knew what was in there, but I didn't actually want to see it. But finally, I got the guts up, opened it, and I was actually holding my novel in my hand. And that just meant so much to me. It was just out of this world. My book, Shumbachena, is out there and can be purchased online. I know you'll enjoy it. It's a good little adventure. Keeps everybody happy from beginning to end. It incorporates all ages. I believe everybody will enjoy it. So if you get around to purchasing it, I know you'll enjoy the book, so enjoy the read.